Hey, how's it going, guys? I just posted a video yesterday talking about that whole leak with Ahsoka intervening in the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin on Mustafar in Episode 3. I posted my thoughts on that. And then I see Ryan Kinel post a video talking about how Ahsoka should have died. So I feel like I like Ahsoka. I like the character of Ahsoka. But just going off that title, I feel like Ryan and I are going to be agreeing on something. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see this video. All right, let's hit play here.
I think Ahsoka is a perfect example of a character that has a lot of fans and a lot of people enjoy, but should have been killed off a long time ago. Ahsoka is a character who, in my opinion, has overstayed her welcome. Now, I never really liked her character.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Ahsoka being with Luke, it doesn't make sense. Luke should be the only Jedi, okay? Ahsoka shouldn't be walking around there. It doesn't make any sense.
Character that we saw in the Clone Wars series. I know there's a lot of fans of the Clone Wars. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be fans or whatever, but to me, it never fit. To me, Anakin Skywalker never had a Padawan between Attack of the Clones and Revenge.
All right. Okay. That's how I personally feel also. See, if I had to pick a Star Wars canon, the cleanest canon that I could pick, the one that makes the most sense, is episodes 1 through 6. That's it. Throw everything else out the window. Episodes 1 through 6, that's it. Okay? But then you got to add, okay, who has the final say here, really? It's not me. Who am I? I'm nobody. It's George Lucas. What does George Lucas consider to be Star Wars canon? I want to do a whole video. I want to do a whole video on this to figure out what George Lucas what his canon is, what's in his head, because we know Clone Wars is a part of that, right? So is it the entirety of Clone Wars? I don't think season 7 would be a part of that canon, but how much of Clone Wars does George consider canon? I'd be really curious, because Rebels is not part of that. That's after the fact, right? George didn't have anything to do with Rebels. So I'd really be interested in looking into what George considers canon. I like the character of Ahsoka, but Anakin having a Padawan, it just never fit. How did that never get mentioned in Return of the Jedi? In Revenge of the Sith? Obviously, because the character wasn't created. But I personally don't like this whole retroactive editing and going back and changing things and adding a whole new character, and you know what I mean? Whatever. All right, let's hear what Brian has to say.
Between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. It just didn't happen. But if you want to disregard all the stuff that happened in the books and the comics, and you have this that you think makes a better explanation as to why Anakin Skywalker might resent the Jedi.
See, that's okay. So there's a difference between me and Ryan. Ryan probably doesn't disregard the books and the comics. I do. My opinion, that's fan fiction. That's without a doubt fan fiction. At least George co-signed and had creative say in Clone Wars. On top of that, I feel like George already gave a solid explanation for why Anakin would resent the Jedi in the movies. You don't need anything more than that. He was held back consistently. He wasn't given the title of master. He constantly asked for opportunities to go out and prove himself, but he wasn't given that. I guess you could throw that into being held back. How many times did he ask to go and save his mom? How many times did he ask to go and save his mom? The Jedi held him back. His master held him back. And the only person in his ear that was sort of siding him, that seemed to be on his side, that understood where he was coming from, was Palpatine, and he was slowly twisting his mind against the Jedi. So you had two forces pulling him away and pushing him away from the Jedi. So he lost his mom. So trust in the Jedi are gone. I should trust my own feelings. Okay? And who is the guy that also trusts my own feelings? Palpatine. And then the obstacle he's faced with, a similar situation to his mom's death, is Padme. And I am not going to lose Padme. And now the Jedi are telling me that I can't go, I can't save her. And so I'm not letting the Jedi, I'm not letting anybody prevent me from doing what I can and what I must to save Padme. I'm not going to let what happened to my mom happen to her. Okay? I've experienced that loss. I made a promise. I'm not going to let that happen again. And as the snowball rolls down the hill, it picks up more snow, and eventually there's no way of going back, right? He kills the younglings, and that's sort of like that initiation. Like, I can't go back from this. I hate what I just did, but I can't go back. I killed Mace Windu. What my actions led to the death of Mace Windu, I can't go back. I'm stuck in this. And so he just keeps moving in this direction that he doesn't even want to move in, and all that hate and mixed with regret, and like, I'm stuck in the situation. I don't know what to do. I just want to save Padme. I just want to save the person that I love. I don't want to repeat the mistakes. I can't go through this loss again. And then Obi-Wan cuts his limbs off and leaves him to die. And he just screams out, "I hate you. I hate you for holding me back. I hate you for leaving me in this position. Now I can't go. Now I can't save Padme. It's your fault that I wasn't able to go save my mom. And now it's your fault again that I can't save Padme, because look what you just did." So I feel like there's plenty of reason within the movies to showcase why Anakin would have held some sort of resentment to the Jedi and why he turned. George himself, we're going to talk about this in the video that I do about Star Wars canon, but George himself considered the expanded universe as like an alternate universe, you know? That was its thing. This was George's thing. He told them, "Hey, don't really touch this stuff here and there, because that's what I'm focusing on in my movies, but you go have your way." The cool thing is he allowed for that flexibility. He gave them some creative freedom, but strictly his canon, what came from his mind, that's what I would consider Star Wars canon, which is why I'm curious to know.
Or not trust the Jedi because of something that happened with his Padawan. I understand that, and I can get that, and I can appreciate that to some extent. But Dave Filoni himself has admitted that George Lucas wanted this character to die. He never wanted this character to live, but Dave Filoni loved the character so much that he couldn't help himself.
I've always been a bit more in the Ahsoka lives camp, and George has been very full on in the Ahsoka dies camp. I think I've said that before, if not.
Wait, when did George want Ahsoka to die? Dude. Okay, see, this is the stuff I need to know. Because if George wanted Ahsoka to die at some point in the Clone Wars series, or later on, or like when? During Order 66, I'm assuming. It's got to be. It's got to be Order 66.
George wanted her to die, but Dave Filoni said, "No, I'm going to make this character the most important person in Star Wars." And now, what have we seen since then?
That's his baby,
Ahsoka
though, you know
in Clone Wars Season 7. You're telling me, how does this fit within Revenge of the Sith? Spoiler alert, it doesn't. You're telling me that Ahsoka Tano took half a legion of clone troopers,
I see you, Ryan,
to a planet full of warriors to fight a fallen Sith Lord in Darth Maul? And
I personally don't even like the coming back of. I don't even like Darth Maul coming back. I don't like the whole inhibitor chip idea. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that.
Nobody wanted to mention that in Revenge of the Sith. Nobody's talking about that. Everything just happened to happen.
See, exactly. See, this is the issue with retroactively going back and adding such substantial plot lines, in between stories. You're going to get issues like this.
Weren't rolling for Revenge of the Sith. It didn't happen. It's an effort to link Ahsoka Tano completely within everything that happened in something you care about. That's what Dave Filoni does. That's what he likes to do. That's what's likely to happen in this Ahsoka series as well. That's why they're doing this Mustafar thing. That's why they're going to do all of this. When you look at Rebels, right? This character who should have died at least during Order 66,
Rebels
something
is
like that.
100% not canon, so
should
whatever.
have died, that George Lucas wanted dead, but Dave Filoni kept alive. All of a sudden, they're very important to what happened. Ahsoka Tano is a big part of the rebellion. She is one of the people that starts the rebellion. And even when Ahsoka's about to die in Rebels, even when Ahsoka's about to die, where like she should, if you didn't kill her off in Clone Wars, you wanted to bring her back for Rebels, okay, at least kill her off when she faces Darth Vader. But no, Dave Filoni introduces the world between worlds and essentially has time travel in the Star Wars universe.
I don't like that either.
Ahsoka Tano, because he can't let this character die. Oh, and then guess what? When we get into the future, we get into the Mandalorian. Oh, he just so happens to run into the Mandalorian who has Grogu. And she explains what needs to happen with Grogu. Oh, by the way, she interacts with Luke Skywalker.
I'm not going to lie. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool seeing her. Okay, I'm not going to lie. It was cool. But if you really look at, like, hey, what is Star Wars canon? How does this impact Star Wars? You know what I mean? Does this really make sense? It's cool to see. And I can look at it from that aspect. Hey, it's cool because going in, I already didn't consider it canon. So I'm a bit more relaxed, you know, with all of this.
And Luke Skywalker looks up to her like he fucking admires her or something. It's all bullshit. And that's going to be what this Ahsoka series is. And I think even people that have been Ahsoka fans for a long time have kind of like realized that, you know, this character, the path should have ended a long time ago. Even though I liked her story, it should have ended. And the more they continue to shove her into each and every era and aspect of Star Wars, I think the more people are going to push back against it. They are doing damage to Ahsoka as a character by continuing to tell stories like these. And over time, it's going to damage it. Like, there's no doubt about it in my mind that this is going to be damaging for the character in the long run. I think it's already happened.
Yeah.
But this is Disney Star Wars.
That's what I'm scared about with the fight in Mustafar, inserting Ahsoka into that. I don't want to not like Ahsoka, but I feel like we're heading that way.
This is Dave Filoni. It's his Gandalf. You know, he's not gonna kill her off. He's gonna continue to make her the most important thing.
Was that from the finale of Rebels? I haven't seen Rebels. I've seen Rebels. I haven't seen the finale yet. She literally looks like Gandalf.
You know, he's not going to kill her off. He's going to continue to make her the most important thing in Star Wars history.
What do you guys think about that? That's interesting, dude. I didn't know that there was somebody out there who had similar opinions as me on that. I thought that was going to be like a controversial stance. But yeah, man, I like the character of Ahsoka. I really got to look into what George considered Star Wars canon as much as I can dig up online and try and put all the pieces together. But my default is episodes 1 through 6. So, I mean, I hope the Ahsoka show is going to turn out to be really good. I got to watch that finale of Rebels. I've been putting that off for far too long. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts about this down below in the comment section. I'm curious if this is going to be a controversial topic or if a decent amount of you guys are going to have a similar opinion. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.